All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to Biss Knows Ball. On today's episode, we're going to talk about running back scary hours. So I want to take a look at 3 running back situations that I am absolutely terrified that one of these rookies are going to come in the NFL draft and absolutely tank the value of the running backs that are currently on that team. So if you're holding one of these running backs, I'd be sweating through April's draft. So we're going to do our 3 running back situations. I also am going to do a buy, sell, hold. I'm going to take a look at 5 players, and I'm going to give you my buy, sell, hold suggestions and kind of the reasons behind that and why. Okay. So again, 3 running backs where it might be time to sell, and then I'm going to give you 5 buy, sell, hold candidates. So we'll run through that at the end of the episode. So if you have not heard, this 2025 running back class is very, very good. There's a ton of running backs that are going to come in and tank the value of the running backs that are currently there. And if you don't believe me, you better start doing some scouting of your own. Take a look at some of these tape. Take a look at some of these measurables and analytics on some of these running backs. The position in this class is the running back class as far as the positions that we care about, right? Last year was the wide receivers were very strong. You had Neighbors, you had Brian Thomas Jr., you had Ladd McConkey, you had a bunch of wide receivers. This year, the running back class is thought to be like a generational class for running backs. So you better be careful. So here we go. Trends show us that the teams are moving more towards like an RBBC, so running back by committee. No longer do you have these teams that just have one running back. Teams aren't paying these running backs big contracts, so a lot of these running backs aren't getting big second contracts, so coming off their rookie deals. The teams are opting to pay rookies their rookie contract and see if they can figure it out at the running back position. Now, again, we're coming off a year where the Eagles went and bought Saquon Barkley, or not bought, but offered him a contract, a fairly big contract, and then ended up winning the Super Bowl. He was a key contributor, but they weren't all he had. That O-line was amazing. I think I could have ran for 10 touchdowns behind that O-line. Jalen Hurts, they have Devonta Smith, they had AJ Brown. Saquon was not the entire offense where he was in New York. Draft capital and money talk, right? So the draft. So as far as the draft goes, no longer you rarely see running backs go in the first round anymore. Recent years, only the elite of the elite are going in the first round. So you're talking about Gibbs and Bijan, and this year it's going to be Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty is the dude. So of this strong running back class, Ashton Jeanty is thought to be the king of this class. So wherever Jeanty goes, he's going to be the guy immediately. So where I've seen him mocked, in all the mocks that I've been going through, there isn't a clear cut super valuable dynasty fantasy running back asset that you'd be concerned about. But wherever he goes, he's the guy. Okay. So the elite of the elite will find themselves in the first round, but most running backs, so like they say, 30s are the new 20s. The second and third round are the new first and second round. So you're going to see a lot of these running backs go in the second and third round. I believe I saw experts suggest that maybe up to 6 in the first 2 rounds or first 3 rounds, rounds 1 through 3, maybe 6 running backs go. So that's pretty high draft capital for a running back nowadays. So let's take a look at some of the ones I'm most concerned about. Then we're going to start with Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty, where I believe he's going to go, is the Las Vegas Raiders. So, see ya. So whoever's there. So you have Madison and Mostert, right? So you have Madison and Mostert in Las Vegas, cooked. Both are cooked. Jeanty comes in, immediately cooked. Jeanty is the guy. So if you're holding Madison or Mostert, you're not going to have any value. Nobody's itching to get Mostert on their team. You should have sold him a couple years ago when he had all those touchdowns. So if you're holding Mostert, you're holding them. Madison was usable and startable dynasty or fantasy football asset. But like I said, as soon as Ashton Jeanty comes in, he's cooked. He's from Boise State. And I've seen him, like I said, go in almost every single mock draft to the Vegas Raiders. So the Vegas Raiders at 6, so that's a top 10 pick. Jeanty instantly with the draft capital and his talent is going to be the guy. So Raiders running back situation cooked, and to see ya to Madison and Mostert. Like, move over, Jeanty's the man. Another backfield. So the second backfield that I'm worried about is, who could be selecting a running back within the first 2 rounds is the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos have an exciting offense. They are a running back needy team. So if you think about it, they shipped Javonte to Dallas. You have Jaleel McLaughlin, who kind of plays a role in that Sean Payton offense. So in a PPR league, you might be all right with McLaughlin, but Javonte's gone. Who it's really going to hurt is Estime. So Audric Estime, their rookie running back that they selected last year, coming into his second year, I think is going to be cooked. So his value is going to tank as soon as they take one of these other running backs. So if Denver selects one of these running backs, like I said, Estime is cooked. McLaughlin will have a role, but the hype is already pretty high for Bo Nix in year 2 in that Denver team. If they land one of these top running backs, like, forget it. But the hype is going to go through the roof for Bo Nix and that Denver offense. I've seen them, like, people predict like division winner for Denver. Like, people are high on the Broncos coming into 2025. So they are missing that running back piece. So if they get a solid running back, like that offense might be scary, even with less than desirable wide receiver room. I mean, Sutton's a beast, but Bo Nix would benefit greatly from having a usable running back in the backfield. All right, and the third and final situation, or the third situation that I'm scared of, and I'm going to give you a bonus, but the third situation that I'm scared of is the Chicago Bears. Another rookie quarterback coming into his second year. Another offense that people are kind of getting back on, more hesitant so than last year. Like, everybody was all over the Bears last year. Oh my God, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. They weren't really talking about DeAndre Swift though. But if the Raiders don't take Jeanty at 6, I don't see him getting past pick number 10 with the Bears. So they have pick 10, which, again, if Jeanty's there, I think they take him. But if not, they have pick 39, which is, I think, the more likely pick that they will take a running back. They have. So what I'm saying is DeAndre Swift is cooked. His value is cooked. Again, not that anybody's crazy about DeAndre Swift, but he was solid. So DeAndre Swift finishes at RB19. It was a solid RB2 last year. But again, Swift would be cooked if they take one of those running backs in the first 3 rounds. So pick 39 is where I'm really looking for the Bears to maybe take a running back. You got the 2 out of Ohio State, so Judkins and Henderson. You have Amarion Hampton that could go to the Chicago. So I'm concerned about Swift and if Chicago takes a running back. And the fourth bonus one, which is a little bit spicy, but the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs at 63 would be interesting if they selected one of these highly sought-after running backs. I know Pacheco was hurt last year, but he finished the year prior when he was healthy as the RB15. So Pacheco is good when he's on the field and very, very startable as a fantasy running back. If they draft a running back at 63, Pacheco is going to be cooked. And I don't think it might be on the radar, but if the Pacheco owner, so if you have Pacheco, and it might not be on the radar of your other league mates, so if you have Pacheco, maybe see if you could sell, right? This might be a time to sell Pacheco. That'd be my actionable advice for Pacheco owners. Swift, I think nobody's going to be crazy about getting rid of or getting Swift on their team. Estime, again, nobody's crazy about it. And the Raiders running back situation, again, not huge fantasy value there, or fantasy, perceived fantasy value. So that's like the most running back needy teams. You always get surprises in the NFL draft. So I wouldn't like the other more interesting one. I'll give you a super bonus is San Fran. Like, are you telling me that Kyle Shanahan, who loves his running backs, is going to sit this running back class out? I don't think so. So McCaffrey, I think, is fine. But, you have Garendo behind McCaffrey that might be in trouble. And if McCaffrey goes down, maybe the rookie running back steps up and has, immediate value. So watch out for San Francisco taking a running back. Again, Kyle Shanahan loves his running backs, and I don't see him not taking one out of this, hyped up draft class. So any running back selected in rounds 1 through 3 spells trouble for the current running back in that situation. I have serious worries for the 2 running backs in Vegas, Estime in Denver, and Swift in Chicago, and Pacheco in Kansas City. Okay. All right, real quick, I'm going to do before I get to the 5 buy sell holds. I want to make sure you're following along. Make sure you follow @BrdyBiscuits on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to YouTube. You can find me on X @BrdyBiscuits. Sorry, the other ones are @BissKnowsBall. So BissKnowsBall on X, on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. @BrdyBiscuits on X if you want to follow along. So here we go. My first candidate for buy sell hold is Kenneth Walker III. 24 years old. I would say Kenneth Walker is a buy low, and here's why. He missed the end of the season and only played 11 games. He finished just outside the RB2 range. He had 46 receptions. But you have Kubiak coming in, who is committed to the run. They have Kupp, they have JSN, they have Darnold there now, but I think they're going to be committed to the run with Walker. So Walker and Charbonnet, but Walker in particular, I think, is a buy low candidate. So go buy Kenneth Walker III. Justin Fields is a definite buy for me, especially in Superflex Dynasty Leagues. 26, he just signed with the New York Jets. He reunites with Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Fields has shown enough in the NFL, on the NFL field for the Jets to give him a contract. Steelers made the mistake of going to Russ last year because Fields was playing well. Only time Fields has started more than 13 games, he finishes the QB7. So if he plays the full season, I think he has a top 5 upside this year and going forward. So Justin Fields, go buy Justin Fields. Khalil Shakir for the Buffalo Bills, I think, is a buy. Khalil Shakir just signed a 4-year extension. He's tied to Josh Allen. Yes, please. Last year, he ranked top 5 in separation and yards after catch. So he can get open, and once he gets open and gets the ball, he can run away from guys. If he's getting open, Allen will find him. Coleman is the promising rookie, ranked last in separation among qualifying wide receivers. So that tells you something. If Coleman's not getting open, Josh Allen isn't going to throw him the ball. So he'll just throw it to Khalil Shakir and just let him run by people. So go buy Khalil Shakir. George Pickens. George Pickens for the Pittsburgh Steelers is a sell to me. They just brought in DK Metcalf, they paid him to be the wide receiver 1. So George Pickens is actually buy or sell. So sell if you're feeling worried, buy if you like to live dangerously. So if they get rid of Pickens, so I have concerns that they might get rid of Pickens, like trade him away or, trade him. Because they just paid DK Metcalf, but that might not be a bad thing for Pickens. Getting away from Arthur Smith, that Steelers offense that prioritizes the run and just wants to run the ball and play defense, might be the best thing that ever happened to Pickens. So maybe he goes to another team and is really, really successful. They have him and DK have similar skill sets. So if you want like the bear case on Pickens, like they paid DK to be the number 1. They have similar skill sets. The writing's on the wall that he might be shipped out. So if you're worried about what team he might go to, or if he has a reduced role in the Pittsburgh offense, sell. But again, if you're looking to live dangerously and want to get a little spicy, they go and try to buy the Pickens or buy Pickens off the owner. Maybe they're on that side where they're feeling a little bit worried. Okay. So that's my buy, sell, hold. I got 5. So in recap, buy Kenneth Walker III. Kubiak wants to run the ball. Fields, his only healthy season as a starter, finished as the QB7. Shakir was top 5 in separation and yards after catch. Josh Allen will find him, and he'll just run by people. Pickens is a buy or sell, depending on how you feel. So buy, like I said, if you're feeling a little bit nervous about the situation. Sell if you're looking to get a little crazy. So thank you for watching along. Hope you liked. Again, comment the type of stuff that you want to see, any trades you want me to evaluate, and just let me know if you're enjoying the content. Follow along, and I'll see you on the next episode.